We're recording video this time. You know how always at the top, I don't know if you see it, it's like, you're only recording audio. Do you want to record video? And I always hit dismiss every time. I'm like, fuck it. Let's try it. Let's see what happens.
I feel like you should have told me this. You can't just like tell someone while they're on camera, by the way, this thing's on.
You look great.
Thanks.
You look amazing. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Dude, I've only been wearing this Lakers shirt for 2 days.
Yeah. It's just every day we record.
Yeah. And we're drinking.
Yeah.
Drinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got me some Lagavulin right here.
Yeah. So this is my drink. Let me see. Hold on. Can you see my drink?
Yeah, it looks like a DXP.
It is a Sazerac.
Oh, nice.
Actually, it's 2 Sazeracs because I'm like, I don't want to have to. I know 1 Sazerac's going to last me about 10 minutes. So,
why the sudden change of heart? Why are you suddenly?
Here's why. So I've been noticing something as I get older, and that is that when I am tired, my performance of whatever I'm doing drops significantly. It used to be that if I didn't get a lot of sleep, it didn't affect me at all, right? I could just perform, my speaking was just as good, my eyesight was just as good. Now it's like if I'm tired, like really tired, I'm practically blind. I'm nearsighted, so at a distance, I'm practically blind, and I can't get hardly a sentence out. And that's how my whole day was today, because I went to bed last night. I tried to go to bed early. I went to bed like 9:45.
Dang.
And then I just had trouble sleeping, like just tossing and turning, not able to sleep till like 3. And then I got up at 3 because I'm like, I've been laying here for an hour and a half. I'm going to get up. And then I thought I'll go down to the basement and I'll turn a show on and see if I can fall asleep. But I made the mistake of logging into my computer and then being like, oh, I should do this real quick. And then it was like 3-4 hours later, it's 7:30 in the morning. And I'm like, oh my God, I should go out and go for a walk. So I'm exhausted, like so tired. And then I noticed in my walks today, all the trees were just big green blurs. I'm like, that is crazy. And then I noticed in my meetings today that I was really, really struggling to talk. And I even mentioned it to a couple people. I'm like, I'm really, really tired. I'm like, sorry, I'm not like making a lot of sense. So I thought, is there anything that could help me at all? Maybe I'll have a drink. Maybe it'll loosen me up, making me feel better. And then I thought, let's see if Jason wants to drink for the podcast, because somebody brought it up in the patrons group, and you were like, I miss those days. I'm like, all right, well, let's have one of them then. So here we are.
Yeah,
you got some scotch. I got 2 Sazeracs.
Yeah, I like when I'm not drinking, like I notice I have the hardest time sleeping. Like if I'm not drinking, which I wasn't up until yesterday, I went and got a bottle of whiskey. But it's like I'll go to bed at like 2, and I'll just be lying there. I'm just tossing and turning all night, and I'll wake up 4 times.
Yeah.
If I'm in bed from 2 until 8, I'll wake up 4 times in there.
Yeah.
And if I'm not to pee, I just woke up, and it's like, well, I'm up, I may as well pee.
Yeah.
Because I'm awake, rather than getting woken up in an hour to do it. I may as well do it now because I woke up. But it's like, it's weird.
I definitely sleep worse when I've had a few drinks, especially if I stop drinking right before bed. Like I'll wake up hot and sweaty, and then just uncomfortable, and just like, like I've been trying harder lately to sleep, to like really focus on sleep. So I've been going to bed a little earlier, just because I wake up at 5 a.m. It's like clockwork, And so it's like the only way I'm going to get 7 hours of sleep is if I am asleep by 10. So it's like, I've got to try to do that. But yeah, if I have like 3 or 4 drinks and then go to bed, I'll fall asleep fine. But then I'll wake up at 1 or 2. Just like
opposite.
Feel awful.
Well, plus when I wake up, like when I wake up, the first 30 minutes after waking up, I'm tired and groggy, right?
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
But then 30 minutes after I get out of bed, I am normal. It sets to normal.
Yeah.
And it's like in that moment, if I were to get amnesia, I couldn't tell you by how I feel, whether I slept for 3 hours or 11 hours.
Right.
It's just like, I feel bad when I first wake up. At some point, everything goes and resets. And then I'm just normal, and I have no idea how good or bad I slept the night before.
like if you had like an Aura ring, which Aura rings are really good for tracking sleep. So if you had an Aura ring that told you your sleep patterns, like what would you expect to see as far as how your average amount of sleep per night?
5 or 6.
Really? Does that worry you at all?
No.
Like they say,
I would like to, like, I would like to work on, pushing everything back. I like, because I hate it when, like, if I go to church on Sunday, I set my alarm earlier than I need to. I set my alarm for 7:40.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I want to get up and have my coffee and read and have my normal routine and then go to church.
Right.
But I am tired. I will say waking up to an alarm
John
clock.
Stellman.
I know, right? Waking up to an alarm clock, I am tired later in the day. Like I do notice if I didn't, but it's like, I don't like it that anything that's going on in the morning, I can't participate in it. Like I just choose not to participate. And if I am gonna, we're all gonna meet together at 7 a.m. for breakfast. I'm like, well,
who does
there
that?
goes.
Who does
first of all, that ruins my night.
Yeah,
it ruins my night the night before because it's like, well, I can't stay up late because I got to get up at the crack of dawn, and it ruins my whole day the next day. And it's
you can't have a good night if you don't have 4 hours alone watching television and smoking.
All I need is just like a couple episodes of Entourage, an episode of Survivor, like a Radiohead concert, and just some YouTube clips to just wash it all down,
Yeah.
Is that so wrong?
Every night.
Every night. And every day, like every night at 8 p.m., I'm like a kid on Christmas morning just waiting like, oh my God, it's almost time. I'm so happy.
By the way,
this is how I know I'm not supposed to be in a relationship, by the way.
Right, because those things are hard to maintain.
I saw some meme. It's like, I saw some meme was like, why is it so hard for me to meet someone that I really care about and want to spend like 3-4 hours a week with?
Right.
Is that so, like, why is that so hard?
Right. She's out there, I think.
Speaking of which, 1 year ago today, I saw in my Facebook memories was the night that Michael, Paula, and Christy and I all went out to that speakeasy.
Dude, it's been that long already?
1 year today.
It's crazy.
I had no idea. It just came up in my memories. I'm like, oh, and I sent it to them in our group text. I'm like, dude, this was all a year ago.
That was a whirlwind.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I don't remember. That's all right. Let's get started.
All right. I am Jason.
I'm Christian.
And you're listening to Drunk Ex-Pastors.
Wait, hold on. I want to get this right. Like I pressed record on that when you were like halfway through. You're like, and I pressed record, and then it still took like 3 seconds after you were finished.
I'm always assuming you're fixing that in post.
I am,
because there's always the lag of like,
it's the only thing I have to fix lately. So it's like I want to just be able to take the files, put them together, and have them just work. So let's do this again.
Have you opened the file in Audacity or something? Because there may be 2 seconds of just silence before the music, and that's why it's taking that long, because it's playing right away, but it just happens to have some like.
No, because it happens with the voicemails and stuff too. It takes like a few seconds to go. So let's try it again. I'm not going to delete what I did before.
Okay.
I just want to try to get this right. Let's practice this live.
I'm Jason.
I'm Christian.
And you're listening to Drunk Ex-Pastors. That's pretty good. That was pretty good.
No, dude, it started, for me, the music started right in the middle of your...
me too. Okay. It started as I was saying Drunk Ex, it started.
Okay. One more time. We got this.
Right. I'm Jason.
And I'm Christian.
And you're listening to Drunk Ex-Pastors. Damn it.
What'd you do? I think that was perfect.
Yeah.
I think that was perfect. All right.
We'll get it.
Okay.
We'll get it one of these days.
Go ahead.
All right. I'm Jason.
And I'm Christian.
And you're listening to Drunk Ex-Pastors. Nice. Oh! There we go.
Dude, Sazeracs are so good. Like, I love it so much.
Yeah. I like
absinthe.
I like old fashions better, and I like a DXP better than that. But I do love Sazeracs.
Yeah, I mean, absinthe. The thing is, I'm not a rye guy really, but I really like Sazeracs, and they've got rye. So, but rye, Peychaud's, simple syrup, and absinthe.
Yeah,
Good
but if
shit.
you made a Sazerac with just like straight regular whiskey, no one would notice. Like I don't think you could. I don't think people can tell.
It might
like,
be
wait,
too
is this
sweet.
rye or is this?
It might be too sweet though, because the Peychaud's and the simple make Sazerac pretty sweet. So if it was bourbon, it might like this is like borderline too sweet for me even.
Really?
So,
That's yeah.
But that's unusual, huh?
Do you know the word cloying?
Yeah. Like
me
cloying
too,
is like what?
Me too, but like barely.
Yeah, like someone who's cloying is like really like attached and like hanging on to you, right?
I always thought of it in terms of something that's so sweet, it's described as cloying.
Really?
But I don't know, and I don't want to know, kind of.
What do you mean?
I just know that every time that word comes to my head, and it always comes to my head in the context of like something's overly sweet. Whether literally or metaphorically, like you had it, I don't know. But it's like, it's just one of those words that's like, I've never heard anyone use it. I've seen it written. That's the only way I know the word is because I've read it.
Yeah.
But I've never said it until today.
Yeah.
And I think I have some tangential understanding of what it means.
Well, do you want to know?
Okay, go ahead and tell me.
Okay. Cloying means, you're going to love this, excessively sweet, sentimental, or flattering to the point that becomes unpleasant or irritating.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like being sweet and sentimental, but so much so that it's annoying.
Have you ever thought about the issue of people who only learn the English language by hearing people talking? People who don't read anything. Like, it's funny because you'll hear certain people mispronounce certain words.
Yeah.
For example, I'll just give one example.
Okay.
Black people.
Okay.
When they say like ambulam for ambulance.
I've never heard a black person say that.
Oh yeah. It'll be like, if you watch like any sort of like teen takeover video, or like just people rioting or whatever things that happen in those neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And it'll be like, hey, yo, somebody call it ambulam. And it's like ambulam
Really?
is how they
funny.
say it. And it's not just one guy who says it that way. It's like most of them, like axe.
Yeah.
You know? And as I heard one lady talk about, there was some riot and some sort of like, just, you know, destruction of the neighborhood or whatever.
Yeah.
And there was the red thing in New York City where the fire department plugs their hose into to get water.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, the Fija hydrant. She kept calling it a Fija hydrant. And it's just like, that is how like little kids, like I remember when my kids were little, they only learn English by hearing it.
Yeah.
They don't know how anything is spelled or how it's supposed to sound. They just know how people say it.
Yeah.
But it's like,
my kids would say hepature for helicopter. It's like, you see the hepature?
yeah, Ainsley used to say helicopter.
Yeah.
Or like a mow lawner is the thing you mow your lawn with. It's a mow lawner, you know?
Yeah.
But it is interesting when, like, the word cloying, it's not a word anyone ever says. I've never heard anyone say it. So I would only know it, and you knew, we both sort of knew it.
Yeah.
But only because it's like, we've read it in a book.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you hadn't read it in a book, if you because I think most people after they graduate high school never read another book in their entire life.
You think so?
I think that's true of a lot of people.
I feel like half of the people read books after high school.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. I mean, I just know there's
a
significant enough percentage of people who do not read any books after the point where they have to, that it was disturbing when I saw it.
Yeah.
But it's just weird to think about the ramifications of that for your vocabulary. A lot of times when you see how people spell.
Yeah.
Like, even when we were in Hungary, like someone who speaks English fluently, but when they write you a note, you realize, oh, you don't know how to write.
Right.
Because you didn't learn English. You learn English from talking to Americans.
Right.
Even when I would try to, like, if I try to write in Hungarian, it won't sound as good as it sounds when I say it, because I don't know, it's just something weird.
You know what is a word I've never said or written before until today? Yesterday?
Oh, okay.
Pshaw. I knew that would get an eye roll out of you.
Dude, that was yesterday's Wordle answer.
Yeah.
I have written that word, but I spelt it P-I-S-H-A-W. Like pshaw, like whatever, like harumph, you know, or psh. Sometimes my brother and I will just be like P-S-H-H-H-H-H. It's like psh.
Yeah.
But yesterday, somehow, the New York Times decided to fuck with us. I'm looking at it.
I got it in 3, though. I got pshaw in 3. I'm like, I don't know how that happened, but that's all I could like come up with.
I got it. Well, my third guess. So I had 2 yellows.
Remembering correctly,
I had 2. I think you got it in 4, but I could be wrong. I had 2 yellows on my first guess and 3 yellows on my second.
Yeah.
No greens.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, I'm not going to get this in 3, but I'm like, I'm going to guess. This is what you do. I never do this, but I'm like, I'm going to guess something I know is wrong for my third guess because it's going to give me a lot of information. So my third guess, I guessed pouty, P-O-U-T-Y.
Yeah.
Because it's like, those are all the remaining vowels. The only vowel that this word has in it, as far as I know, is an A. Yeah. And I'm thinking, is there a Y in it? Is there an O in it? An O-U? So I just guessed pouty. All I got from that was the green P first. Yeah. So so I'm like, okay. And I know from my first guess that the A is not the second or third letter in this word. So I'm like, I can think of one word in the entire English language that begins with a P, followed by 2 consonants that none of which is a Y. Yeah. Phlegm. And phlegm is too long for it to be. So I'm like, there's no word in the English language that begins with a P, followed by 2 consonants, neither of which is a Y. Yeah. That's 5 letters long. And I'm still correct. There is no word in the English language that fits that criteria. Yeah, you were wrong. I got it in 5, not 4. I think what happened was I was just very, very proud to have gotten it. Because I remember being like, this is not a word, is it? I can't. Like, you got it in 4. Well, my cousin, who we share the Wordle every day, and he's really good. Like, he's really good. And he also has a spreadsheet of words that have been used already. But he can't use it, which is now useless to him. Since he doesn't do that anymore because he used to check. Is my next guess a word that's been used already? Because that won't be it. But he can't do that anymore. But he just wrote me because I'm like, dude, I'm stuck, and he goes, "You're gonna be so pissed." And I'm like, good. I want it to be that because I don't want it to be. I hate it when it's like I spent all this time on it and it was just like cable or something normal. How did I not know that? It's like, oh, it was bullshit the whole way. Okay, I feel better now. I'm not a moron. You're a moron. You know? Yeah. I knew the same thing. I didn't want to tell you that you'd be pissed because then I know it's gonna help you guess something that you wouldn't think is a word. Well, I have written pshaw in texts and stuff as a joke. Yeah. It's a funny way to say, I have never written it. Yeah, until yesterday. Anyway, if you would like to become a patron of Drunk Ex Pastors, you can do that by going to patreon.com/drunkexpastors. And if you'd like to leave us a voicemail, you can do that at 213-97-DRUNK, 213-973-7865. And we've got a few voicemails today, including one from Leonard Angelo. Nice. So do you want to get started on those, or do you want to talk about Entourage real quick? And Spotify. Let's talk about Entourage and Spotify. Okay. So you have been listening to it. You've also been watching it. Entourage. We watched this togetger, didn't we? From like 2005 or 6. Yeah, it came out in like 03 or 04. Yeah, and you had, I think, had just moved up here, and we were getting together every week to hang out and watch shows, and we watched pretty much all of Entourage together, I'm pretty sure. And by the way, those weekly meetings were the precursor to this podcast. That's true. We didn't know that at the time. No. I just remember being like, we were like early 30s watching Entourage, and I just remember thinking that the women in this show are incredibly hot. Yeah. You know the woman who ends up being E's girlfriend, like long-term girlfriend? Is she in it yet? I don't know. She's not in it yet, no. Yeah. Sloan, her name. I think her name is Sloan. Yeah. I was at a thing in Hollywood in like 2013 and 14, and she walked past me. And I just remember being like she's just as beautiful and gorgeous in real life as she is in the show. I was just like, oh my God, there's Sloan. I knew her name at the time, but yeah, she's way too good for E. That's for sure. Way too tall for him too. He's a little diminutive fellow. Is he? He's like 4'8" or something. So you're liking it? Yeah. So I went for a period where I was watching a bunch of new shows like The Pit, The Diplomat. I don't know, just all the new shows, Friends and Neighbors. Yeah. And I got a little bit like overdosed on, because new shows all have the same sort of like feel to me.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to go back and watch something old. And so I watched the OC season 1 because I'm like, this is fun. You know, like I remember watching when it came out. My wife and I used to watch it and like just mock watch it, you know, like laugh at it. And because it's so funny. I'm like, all right, I'm going to watch this.
And in the middle of mock watching it, you fell in love with it.
Well, it is, I mean, out of the teen kind of CW, you know, style shows like Gossip Girl and all these shows, the OC was one of the early ones.
Yeah.
And it wasn't good. Like rewatching it, I'm realizing like, okay, it's not, the main 2 actors are just awful.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to stick it out and finish the first season, which is 27 episodes, by the way.
Yeah.
So I finished it. And I'm
As
like,
a season of television should be.
that feels like an entire series to me.
Yeah. Totally.
But after that, I was like, I feel I'm liking this vibe because I love that era. I love the music from that era. I love the clothing style from that era. I was like, I loved that era from when I was in that era. I loved it and I love watching it. So I'm like, I'm going to watch Entourage because it's the same era, but like shorter episodes and better, you know? And I'm loving it. But it's crazy. The quality difference is wild between 2 shows, both from 03, 04. But it's like Entourage is just so much better.
Entourage has to be at least from 04, 05 because the theme song is from The Killers. And I think that album came out in 2004, right?
The theme song's not from The Killers, but they show the big Hot Fuss billboard when they're driving in that Eldorado or whatever.
The theme song is from Jane's Addiction.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's like, so everyone's wearing those clothes from that era, and it's like I'm mostly noticing the women, you know, wearing.
What do you mean the clothes from that era are the same as the clothes from right now? We're in the same era. We're in the same era right now as we were in 2005.
I wish. I just loved those, like especially on girls, those like low-rise bootcut jeans.
Yeah.
It's like that was my thing. I just dig it.
Yeah.
And they're all wearing that, you know?
Yeah. It premiered on July 18th, 2004.
Okay.
When did you move up here? Or up here.
Well, and it's like it was from a more innocent time when we all just sort of agreed on what is attractive and what isn't, and we didn't have to like make political statements about it.
Right.
You know, like let's give the Miss America award to like a 600-pound African or something. It's like that's like a political statement, and maybe it needs to be made. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not in that world. Yeah. But this was before there was the need, when it was just like, oh, we need a bunch of hot people. And they actually picked hot people.
Right.
Men and women, just hot people. Like, yeah, this is what we all used to, it's like I'm looking over my shoulder going like, but I remember this shit. Like we all used to agree on like, yeah.
It's when Survivor always had like a bunch of attractive people on it. Right?
So, yeah. Where now it's like everyone has to be some like streamer from his basement who's never seen the sun, you know? Right. And it's like, yeah, they used to be like, oh yeah, these are like fit, attractive people.
Yeah.
That I like watching them, you know?
Yeah.
Run around and stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Remember in Friends when Joey, they would set their microwave alarm for 4:00 every day because Baywatch was on?
Yeah.
And so even when they weren't living together, each of their microwaves went off at 4:00 when they're talking on the phone to each other.
Yeah.
And they're like watching like Yasmin Bleeth.
Are you going to watch the new Baywatch?
Ooh. Probably.
Did you watch the old one? I've never seen a single episode.
I didn't used to watch it, but when I worked at the San Clemente Holiday Inn, I was the night auditor. So I worked from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I would record like 6 hours of TV. I used to have one of those TV VCR units.
Yeah.
And at home that day before I went into work, I would record just random stuff. I used to record the O'Reilly Factor.
Yeah, I remember that.
And Baywatch.
Yeah.
And what's that show, Dark Angel? The show that Jessica Alba first came out on. Yeah. I used to record that. Just any like slop TV that's just like, this will keep me awake at 4 a.m. when I'm supposed to be working.
Yeah.
And I used to watch episodes of Baywatch where it's like, they're just lifeguards in Malibu, like just diffusing a nuclear bomb at the bottom of the ocean, as you do. Right. So good. There's CJ just like rewiring a freaking like Learjet.
I remember, is Entourage the guy that has the guy who screams out, what's his thing about the government? We quote it all the time.
He is just now in it.
What does he scream out?
I went to record, dude. I swear to God, last night.
Yeah.
There's a funny
scene. Like, fuck commerce. That's what it is.
Yes, that's what it is.
Fuck commerce. Yeah.
Yeah. Billy Walsh.
Yeah, Billy Walsh.
He's the super genius, eccentric director.
Yeah.
And the scene where he first meets E and Vince was so funny, and I took out my phone to record it to send it to you. But it's like I didn't realize I had it on photo mode and not video mode.
Yeah.
And so I went to send it. I'm like, oh, that whole time I just took a picture. I'm like, I don't feel like rewinding it. Forget it. But dude, it's weird that you would bring that up.
Yeah, that's funny.
He's great.
So the
and he hates E. He keeps calling E suit.
Yep.
He says, shut up, Billy. I'm not a suit. Yes, you are. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah.
He just has no respect for E at all.
I think, is it Larry Charles was like a writer on that show?
Yeah, he was in the episode I watched. One of the episodes I watched last night.
Yeah.
He was just one of the guys that Johnny Drama had an audition.
Yeah. And the movie came out in 2015. And Larry Charles, by the way, is known for Seinfeld mostly. He was a writer and producer of Seinfeld. But the movie came out in 2015, and I remember really liking it. I remember like watching the movie and being like, dude, I love this. It was like the perfect entourage movie. But yeah, do you feel when you're watching it like woke people would upset the woke crowd?
Yeah.
Really?
Especially Ari Alone. Ari Alone, he plays the main character's agent, his talent agent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He was like, okay, so in at the beginning of season 2, because they left LA at the end of season 1 to go to Queens, where they're from, to film Queens Boulevard, which is Billy Walsh's passion project. And then so season 2 begins with them returning to LA. And the four of them are walking through the office to see Ari, Vince's agent, and
played by Jeremy Piven from Say Anything.
And Say Anything. And he has a new assistant. His new assistant is Lloyd, the gay Asian guy.
Yeah, that's right.
And Eric is like, hey, where's Emily? And Ari's like, well, I had to fire her because you fucked her, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, that's not really why you fired her. He says, and Ari said something about, no, I just sexually harassed her until she quit. Right. And it's like, obviously it's a joke and it's funny, but it would piss people off now.
Yeah.
There's probably people listening to this going like, I can't believe they said that on TV.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I mean, it is, it does seem
me
like
want to watch it. I think I need to introduce it to Sky. I actually think Sky would like it. I think Sky would be like, oh, this show's awesome.
It's hard not to like. I mean, it's just bubblegum. It's just like, it's just immediately, it's like almost cloyingly sweet.
Yeah.
No, it's just immediately accessible. It doesn't take a bunch of like.
Is cloyingly sweet redundant?
I don't know.
Cloying is sweet to the whatever it was. I think it's redundant. Anyway, okay. Entourage. Everyone should go watch it. They'll love it. If you don't love it, whatever. Okay. I ended up with a few minutes today eating some of the chilf. And while I was eating the chilf, do you want to make you a pot of the chilf here at the house to leave for you when you come house it? Okay.
I was going to ask you to, but I thought that's like asking a lot. Like, hey, before you go on this trip, could you just like make me a bunch of food?
Yeah, I'll make you a pot of the chilf.
I will just house that in like a day.
So I put on the TV and I had a plan to watch something. And then of course a YouTube video comes up on the screen. Like, I'm like, oh, what is this? And it was like, the most streamed Spotify song from every year from 1960 to 2026 or 2025. And so I'm like, oh, it's 11 minutes. This is perfect. So I eat my chili and watch this show. And so I watched it. And while I'm watching it, I'm like, there was a few, the thing is I didn't write anything down. So a lot of it's I'm going to look to you to remember some of the stuff. But
I just watched it like 20 minutes ago.
I watched it and there was just so much coming to my head while I was watching it. It was so interesting because part of it is like, okay, it starts in 1960. I think like the second or third song is Sitting on the Dock of the Bay by Otis Redding, right?
Yeah, the first couple were like Sam Cooke and then Benny King, Stand By Me.
Mm-hmm. Which seems reasonable. And Sitting on the Dock of the Bay seems reasonable. By the way, did you know that Otis Redding never heard Sitting on the Dock of the Bay? He died in like a plane crash or something, like after he recorded it.
Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't even know he made it.
And he was in a studio and he recorded all his stuff. And he'd been kind of playing with the song and he was like done. And the people behind the window go like, well, we've got a little extra time. Do you got anything else? He's like, not really, you know. And like, well, I've got this one thing, you know. Like, let's just do it, you know. And they did it, and then he died in a plane crash, and they put the song out, and it's like, you know, this huge hit that, you know, everybody loves. But anyway, I thought it was kind of crazy that there wasn't a single song from the 60s from the Beatles in the most streamed songs of the 60s. And I'm like, that's impossible. The songs, like the Beatles, I don't think you could argue that the Beatles albums outsold every other artist in the 60s, you know? And so I was wondering what's happening here. And then I realized, like,
I have a theory.
Well, let me give you my theory real quick.
Okay.
Is that like, this is not songs that were popular in the 60s, because the Beatles songs would probably have like the number one song at least 2 or 3 times in the 60s. This is people since 2013 or whenever Spotify come out who are streaming the songs, right? Yeah. So it's people who are, and a lot of these songs are probably streamed because they were in a movie or a show, or like I was thinking about like Don't Stop Believing, right? Like that is probably the most streamed song in Spotify, because in 2006 it was the ending song for The Sopranos, and that like I remember hearing I knew the song Don't Stop Believing when The Sopranos finale came out, but I never listened to it. You know, it's like I'd heard it in the 80s. But ever since 2006, when The Sopranos finale came out, I hear it, you know, 20 times a year.
And all the kids who streamed it because of Sopranos probably had no idea that it doesn't just abruptly end. Right. The song actually keeps going and fades out like a normal song. It doesn't just go, don't stop.
Right.
Fade to black.
Right.
So I was surprised. That's
kind of my theory of it, is I had to keep that in mind the whole time. These aren't the most popular song. Like a lot of the Queen songs, I'm like, maybe Queen was more popular than I realized, but there were like 3 Queen songs. And I'm like, are these popular because the Bohemian Rhapsody movie came out a few years ago and everybody loved it and they started streaming these songs, or were they really the most popular songs of that year?
You know where the first time I ever heard Bohemian Rhapsody was?
For me, it was in that movie.
It was in a movie, but not that movie.
Yes, Wayne's World.
Yes, Wayne's World. My theory on why about the Beatles is when you have such a big catalog, the Beatles could have more monthly listeners than any other band in history. But it's like when you've written that many songs, no single one of them is going to get all the streams, because 10 million people are choosing between 1,000 songs.
Right.
As opposed to if you just wrote one popular song, it'll get more streams because that's all you wrote.
Right.
I was surprised, though. It was interesting watching it transition from the first song that was not like because some of the stuff was like The Temptations, just like bubblegum pop music.
There was a couple songs that I'm like, I'm not sure I've ever heard this song.
Oh, there were a few songs I had never heard.
Yeah.
But the first song that was like cool, because initially it was just kind of like Martha and the Vandellas and all this sort of like, you know, stuff from a variety show. Huh?
Creedence was cool.
But the first cool song was the Mamas and the Papas.
Yeah, the
California Dreaming.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so it's weird because you're watching because it starts off all black people and ends all black people.
Oh, funny.
You know, it's because it starts off with the old R&B and soul music, and then it gets into like the hippie stuff, like the Mamas and the Papas and Creedence, and you got Black Sabbath in there pretty early on.
That was weird. I did not know that Black Sabbath song. Yeah, Paint It Black by which I'm not a big Rolling Stones fan. I mean, they have like probably 5 or 6 songs I love, but last year I think I was like, I'm going to listen to some Rolling Stones and Paint It. Oh, I know what it was. They had a Rolling Stones music pack on Beat Saber, and I'm like, and I bought it, and so I ended up playing some of these Rolling Stones songs on Beat Saber, and Paint It Black was one of my favorite ones, which I probably heard at some time in my life, but like not really enjoyed it or appreciated it. And you're going to be like, I don't even know what it sounds like, aren't you? I can tell by the look on your face.
I'm going to say the first time I heard that song, it wasn't by the Rolling Stones.
Oh, really?
It was U2's cover.
Oh,
U2 covered it as a B-side to like Mysterious Ways, or even better, The Real Thing. One of their Octung Baby singles had Paint It Black. And so when I got that CD single in Budapest, I was like, oh, there's material U2 songs on this that I'd never heard. And I heard Paint It Black. And I'm like, oh, and I'm looking at it going, oh, it's a Rolling Stones song. Yeah. But I'd never known that. And so when I heard the Rolling Stones version, I'm like, that's not even as good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I really like that song. I'm not a big Rolling Stones fan, like I said, but I like that one.
It was interesting watching it go from, it's interesting. It shows your biases, because everything from before I was old enough to be really listening to music, I think is just corny. Like, I think Queen is the most corny ass band I've ever seen.
I don't get Queen. They're not for me.
I think the same thing about Rush. And I know people who are older than me, or at least who have.
Do you like Another One Bites the
maybe?
Dust though? I was thinking about this today when I saw Another One Bites the Dust for 20 seconds, and I was like, this song's pretty cool.
That is a good song.
Yeah, because I generally don't like their songs. I like, is it We Will Rock You? Is that the name of the song? And I like Another One Bites the Dust. But other than that, I do not understand the Queen.
Well, especially Bohemian Rhapsody. It's like that song is like,
I hate that song.
It's so stupid. I mean, it's like it's incredibly. I'm sure it is incredibly genius and hard to make, but it's you listening to it going like, "Mamma mia, Beelzebub." It's like, what the fuck is this? You know, is this rock? This rock and roll sounds like I'm watching some opera. Yeah, which is probably the point. But it's like, I don't want that.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think that's along with the what's the, is it Rush? Who is it? Like the bands that make these like operatic type of albums.
Yeah, like prog rock.
Yeah, the prog rock. That's what it was.
Yeah, like Pink Floyd, Rush.
Who was it that would send us the prog rock like CDs? It was the mailman. I can't remember his name right now. I don't think he's listening anymore, so I think we lost him too at some point. But he sent us like a Rush prog rock CD, and I'm like, I don't have a CD player. I don't know how to listen to this. I'm not sure what to do here.
Well, Sam Walker, old listener. I don't think he listens anymore, but he sent me like the Cowboy Bebop DVDs.
Yeah,
in the mail. I'm like, what am I going to play this on?
Yeah, I started watching BoJack Horseman.
Oh,
and I'm sure it's great. I'm sure once you get into it, it's brilliant. But I watched. It's probably it might be like Parks and Recreation. The first season of Parks and Recreation is not good. If you love the show and you go back and watch it, you'll like it. But it takes a season and a half to get really good. And maybe BoJack Horseman is like that. But I'm just like, I have so much stuff I want to watch right now that I don't know if I can spend the time to get into this. Anyway, one of the songs that really surprised me on this, and it's not because I don't like the song, I do like the song, was Sweater Weather from like 2012 or 13. And I was like, this is the most streamed song from that year. Like, I like this song, but that was weird.
I love that band. That's one of my least favorite songs, probably because of the overplay. I mean, it did play a lot. Yeah. And I still hear it a lot.
Well, the other one was Heat Wave by Glass Animals, which Heat Wave, I think that's what it's called, right?
You see, that was one where I'm like, okay, I had already stopped listening to them at this point.
Yeah,
because I listened to their first album and then the one with like Gooey on it.
They have way better songs than that. How is that? And songs that I thought were way more popular. How is this on this? How did this become the most streamed song?
It was probably in a video game or something.
There was also an Eminem song called Mockingbird that
I'd never heard of that song.
I have never heard, and I'm like, I like Eminem. I mean, the Without Me song, was that what it was?
Yeah, that was on there.
That was on there. I'm like, yeah, of course that's on there, you know. But I don't know. It was really interesting, and it just made me think. Like, I had to keep reminding myself, okay, don't be offended. These are not the most popular songs of that year or the most listened to. These are the most popular songs that have been listened to after the fact by people for whatever reason, whether it's a movie or whatever, you know.
One of the things we should share this link in the description or something so people can watch this. But one of the things that stood out to me was like there was a time when the eras were so defined. Like first it was kind of like the black like Motown stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's nice. And there was hippie music, like the Mamas and the Papas and Creedence and all that. You're like, oh yeah, the hippie stuff. Like I remember this song from the Forrest Gump soundtrack. Then it gets into the 80s and you're like, oh yeah, like I remember all these songs. These are great. Yeah. Yeah. Then the first song, 1990, either 1990 or 91 was Smells Like Teen Spirit. Or no, and then it was followed by Creep by Radiohead.
Right. Yeah, that was cool.
And I'm like, what a talk about, because the last couple songs from, I think 88 and 89 were both Guns N' Roses. It was Sweet Child of Mine and Paradise City.
Yeah.
And then 90 was Smells Like Teen Spirit. And then 91, I think, was Creep.
No.
I may be off by a year, but it's right.
Years, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
but it's right there.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a total change in feel and vibe.
Right.
Completely.
Right.
And then you start getting into the 2000s, and I love that era. And Mr. Brightside was on there.
Yep.
Yellow by Coldplay.
Yeah.
They had a song by Keane in there. I'm like surprised. Really,
that was
Keane?
so weird. I'm like
who's
really
streaming Keane?
The Bedwetters?
Yeah.
That's what I don't even know. I don't know what that means. I just remember at the time somebody I think it was you, said they're bedwetters. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
But I feel like that came up in my Facebook memories today.
Dude, that would be crazy.
We're about to find out. Here's what's weird. I was group chatting with Paula and Michael today. So I have a big wide monitor. So on my left side is my texting app open.
Yeah. Yeah.
And on my right side, I happen to be scrolling Facebook.
Which, tell me, is that not the best thing about having a Mac as your computer, is being able to message on the Mac instead of your phone?
It is a huge, huge benefit.
Yeah.
But as like Michael mentioned that he buzzed his head for summer, and Paula goes, I wish I could just buzz my head for the heat, and then it all just grows back automatically when fall comes. And as I'm talking to them, I look over at my Facebook scroll where I just stopped, and it was a picture of Sinead O'Connor.
Oh, funny.
And so I cut and pasted it. I'm like, dude, this happened to be on my screen, just stopped when Paula talked about buzzing her head.
And then you were watching V for Vendetta, and it's crazy the coincidences here.
I love V for Vendetta. I'm not going to find it, but I swear to God, the Keane being bedwetters just showed up in my,
that's funny,
my memories for some reason.
Miley Cyrus, Party in the USA. I was fine with that one. I'm like, yeah, okay. I get how that song has grown and grown. I mean, I'm sure it was hugely popular at the time, but like, I just feel like I still like that song. I have that song on my playlist. Like I get it why that is streamed a lot. Interesting. I've never really listened to the words of the song "Flowers" by Miley Cyrus. Is that her name? Miley Cyrus or Hannah Montana? Miley Cyrus.
Montana.
Yeah, Miley Montana. I've never really listened to the words of that. And I'm like, that's a pretty cool song. Like, I get it. And I'm like, this could apply both to men and women. Like, hey, I don't need you. I can do my own shit, right? Like, which is the gist of the song.
I didn't know any of the pop music because my kids never listen to pop music, and
dude, your kid loves 21 Pilots. That's pop music.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it doesn't transcend it also, but it is pop music.
Yeah, it is pop music, but it's not like The Weeknd or Miley Cyrus or Ed Sheeran. And so Ed
Sheeran had like 2 songs in there.
He had 2 songs in a row.
Yeah, obviously.
But so did Guns N' Roses.
The one. Yeah, the song I used to not be able to listen to. And now I can listen to it. I'm like, I love this song.
Yeah, and there was even something, the 2023 song was good. I forget what it was, though. It was like, I love this song. Like, I have this album.
We will post the link to this in the DXP Patrons group. If you would like to become a member of the DXP Patrons group, you could do that by going to patreon.com/drunkcookspastors and become a patron for $6.66 or more.
Yeah, that's all it costs.
All right, we've got some voicemails before we run out of time here. Let's begin with Leonard Angelo, okay?
Yeah.
Hi there, Drunk XP. This is Leonard Angelo. Love the last podcast talking about the nature of spirituality.
I love how he tells us it's him. It's like, dude, you don't need to tell us it's you. Like, we know. Like, just I'm not by your number, but by your accent. You have the most unique accent of anybody who calls us, and I love it.
Yeah, like if you're Billy Bob Thornton from that one movie,
Sling
you
Blade.
don't need to identify yourself.
Are you saying he sounds like Sling Blade? He sounds way more intelligent than Sling Blade.
No, I'm not saying he sounds like Sling Blade. I'm saying that is
unique.
Every bit as unique and distinct.
It's unique. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Just start talking. We will know who you are. And I'm so glad to have a voicemail from you.
Reality in the physical world and our perception of all of those things. Love that topic. You guys did a great job. I haven't called you in a while because I'm 6 months sober.
Congrats.
Speaking of altered perception. So brevity's my friend today. I'm going to be quick. What's the difference once you admit that the world is bigger than we can perceive, that our perception limitations create the world that we see and not what it actually is. What's the difference between that and believing in heaven and hell and Jesus and God as beings and so forth? It's all just limitations. It seems like we're forcing everything to be measurable in the same way that the evangelicals always force everything to have agency and be independent. How about it just you don't know? How about that? Which I think, Jason, some of your favorite authors love that idea, the idea of not knowing. Anyway, love the show, love you guys. Hope you're doing well. Push out.
I'd just like to say that I love the idea of not knowing. And that's basically what being an agnostic is, right? Like an agnostic is somebody who says like, I'm open to like pretty much all of it, but I don't know. And I don't think you can know, you know. I was listening to Bill Maher on Club Random. I think it was his interview with Charlie Kirk. I listened to him today interviewing Andrew Huberman, which is pretty funny because he's like drinking and smoking weed the whole time, you know. And it was also interesting because Andrew Huberman is very well spoken and knowledgeable and doesn't back down when Bill Maher interrupts him constantly, which he did. The funny thing is, listening to this, I brought this up I think last week. He gets drunk and he gets high and he just like interrupts because he thinks something's funny, and whether the person is who he's interviewing thinks it's funny or not, he just keeps laughing out of his own jokes, right? It's really, really fucking annoying. And I just remember thinking, like, if I was there and I was being interviewed by Bill Maher, I don't know if I could laugh at some of it. Like, I would just be like, yeah, go ahead, finish laughing and let me talk, you know? But like, it's just like we said, I think last week or the week before, like, he's hard to like, you know?
He's smarmy and gross, I think.
Yeah.
And I have the biggest problem with just manufactured camaraderie.
Yeah.
That's why I hate, that's why I can't stand, like, any podcast with more than two comedians on it. I can't listen to it. I can't, if it's sometimes YouTube, like I'll be wanting to watch some Lakers thing, and I click on it and it's like, oh, it's video of a radio broadcast of guys talking on the radio. Well, it's like when guys talk on the radio, they're all being all radio-like. And they're all like talking over each other, and playing a little air horn noise and like being all bombastic. And it's just like, can you not? Like, just stop. Like, you know, like, shut up. Sometimes I'll be on my walk listening to something and I'm talking out loud going like, shut up. Like, shut up. No one's listening to this to hear you. The guest is the famous one. Shut up and let him talk. Stop interrupting and interjecting things.
Yeah, that's how I was today. Yeah, because I was listening to it because I like Andy Huberman, not Bill Maher. I do think Bill Maher gets interesting stuff out of people. That's why I listen to it, because, you know, it's like he is putting someone like Andrew Huberman in a little bit of a weird spot. Because
I don't know anything about Andy Huberman. Andrew Huberman. No, I don't.
You never listened to him?
No, I know the name, but I couldn't pick him out of a lineup, and I don't know what he believes or thinks.
I would think your brother would love him. He's like,
I think my brother hates him.
Really?
I think so.
Interesting. Like Andrew Huberman is all about like sunlight and getting sunlight in the morning, and like you know, like he has all these really, really well known scientists, sleep scientists, psychologists. He's a neuroscientist at Stanford, but he's like, you know, he's let me try to find a good episode of his to send you, because I love his health stuff, and he's just very well spoken, but he's also like a weightlifter. He's like this like ripped weightlifter.
How does this relate to the voicemail?
So yeah, agnosticism.
Right.
Yeah, I was kind of saying that, like, I was upset at a podcast I heard with Bill Maher, where he was saying like agnosticism and atheism are the same thing. And I'm like, I don't feel like they are the same thing. And like, I also don't think it's we've talked about this before, but I don't think it's a cowardly thing to say, I don't know, and we don't know, and I don't think you know. I feel like it's one of the harder things to do, rather than to be like, oh, I know for sure, either one way or the other. Well,
that's why I always say, and sometimes you push back on it, but I don't think you will now. But like, that's why I always say that fundamentalists and hardcore atheists are just two sides of the same coin, because one is absolutely sure there's a God. The other one is absolutely sure there's not. And when you listen to them argue, it's like, yeah, you're two sides of the same coin, as opposed to someone who doesn't know. I'm
going to push back on it just because you said I wouldn't.
But see, I knew that I wanted you to push back, so I told you you're probably not going to make you do it.
Well, never mind. I'm not going to do it.
Oh, but see, I knew that was going to happen too.
That was reverse psychology.
I
know. So smart. No, do you think that like I've even listened to Bill Maher when he interviewed Charlie Kirk say, I'm not saying there isn't a God. I'm just saying that atheism is basically like, I don't have enough proof to know that there is a God, you know? Mm-hmm. Which seems like a much more reasonable thing than what atheism is portrayed as, which is, but then I'm like, yeah, maybe there is no difference between atheism and agnosticism, because if an atheist is saying like, I just don't have enough information for it, then like, well, you're an atheist agnostic then, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're all agnostic on some level, right? I mean, everyone doesn't know. The minute you don't know something, or your knowledge of anything is incomplete, then there's an element of agnosticism in there.
Well, we're not all agnostic, because there are a lot of people who believe they know exactly.
Right. Yeah, I just feel like the more comfortable you can get with your own unknowing, the more tolerable a person you're going to be around.
Thank you.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing worse than someone who just knows everything. They're just like, they just think they know everything, and they're going to tell you.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, there's something so refreshing about humility. I remember like it getting drilled into me in seminary, because we'd be at lunch with some professors, like a few students and a few professors would be at lunch. And I'd be asking a question to one of them about, let's say, the how to exegete, or what this verse means. And the PhD in historical theology will defer to the PhD in biblical studies. Like Scott Clark would be like, don't ask me to answer what a verse means. Dr. Baugh will tell you. He's the New Testament Greek guy. You know, and then you ask Baugh tells you what it means, and you're like, what? How does that relate to this? He's like, ask David Van Drunen. He's the systematic theology guy. And it's like, to see these guys with like Oxford PhDs unwilling to weigh in because they're sitting next to someone also with a PhD in a relevant topic, and so they defer. It's like, yeah, that's like reading Richard Carrier on mythicism. It's like, it's nice to see people, because it's like that whole Dunning-Kruger effect, where it's like, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And it's like, once you're educated in a subject, you realize how little you know about all the other subjects there are. And it makes you more humble. And it's like, that kind of agnosticism is like really refreshing.
Yeah. I'm trying to find that. There's like an expression about like specialists and generalists, you know? What is it?
I think
a specialist learns more and more about less and less until they know everything about nothing. A generalist learns less and less about more and more until they know nothing about everything.
Yeah. I think it can be weaponized a bit. Like, so I really like Peter Enns. He's a Old Testament professor who's written some really great stuff on the Bible, and like sort of from a deconstructed postmodern perspective. But he has this mug that says, "Don't mistake your Google search for my Old Testament doctorate, or my doctorate in Old Testament."
Right.
And that's funny, but I do think that you can weaponize this a bit, where you're like, suddenly anyone who says the phrase "do your own research" is some sort of quack from the internet.
Right. Like, oh, you have a doctorate, then I have to bow down to everything you say. Yeah,
like Richard Carrier gives a bit of that vibe, where he's like, you know, because in his mind, it's like, oh, doing your own you can't do that. You can't.
Right.
I have, you know, and it's like, no, I'm not saying I went in and did MNRA, you know, research with a microscope. I'm saying that, like, there's some experts who did research, and I read their books.
Right.
And so I did my own research by reading what experts said
what
when they were
those
challenging the
experts-
mainstream.
What those experts said made more sense to me than what you as an expert are saying.
Yeah, like when
I have to make a
COVID, like
decision.
during COVID, it was a big thing where it's like, it's one thing to get my virology from TikTok. That's not good. But it's like, if a credentialed Nobel Prize winning MD is having a different take on the COVID narrative than everyone else, and I'm listening to a 3-hour interview with him, and I make conclusions based on what he said, that would be a example of doing your own research
Right.
in a way that's valid.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't just listen to what like Brenda says from her kitchen. I'm listening to like this credentialed, like well-respected, peer-reviewed, published in academic circles, professional.
Yeah.
And he has a different take, and his take also lines up with a bunch of other takes I've read. That's what doing your own research is.
If what you mean is by doing your own research is that you have to have your own lab and spend years doing this research, then it's like, okay, well, then it's only like 5 people who could do this.
Like, I don't have a particle accelerator in my house.
And if these 5 people disagree, what do I do? It's like, oh, well, then I just can't know. Or I can pick one that makes the most sense and be like, well, this is my opinion,
But there is a huge
I'm going to hold it lightly. I'm going to be agnostic about it.
Well, there's this huge swath of people, mostly Democrats, who hear the phrase doing your own research and completely dismiss it as illegitimate.
Yeah.
Like shut up and listen to the man on the television.
But when they say that, they're not saying listen to all the men. They're saying listen to the one man or woman that I agree with, right? It's never like, there's never an acknowledgement that oh, there are people who disagree. I mean, I do think that like if 95% of people, like there's a consensus, like there has to be a point where you have like a what's it called? They had to have it in Battlestar Galactica when you have like enough people.
Like a singularity?
No, you have enough people who all agree. You have to have
critical mass?
No.
Hive mind?
Nope. You have to have, like, if you have, okay, now this is the thing, we need to figure this out. When like a quorum.
Oh,
quorum,
yeah, the quorum.
Right. Like at some point you got to go like, okay, there's a quorum here. Like, now I have to, if I'm going to disagree with them, which I still can, I have to acknowledge that I'm disagreeing against the vast majority of people. Right.
But here, like, take the mythicism is a good example of this.
Yeah. Because
like Richard Carrier would say, before my book on the historicity of Jesus, which is a peer-reviewed academic monograph published in 2014.
What's a monograph?
That's the first time in 100 years that anyone's published in academic circles on this topic. So no one in the last 100 years has published anything under peer review on this topic. And everyone hates it. Everyone hates what I'm saying. But when he actually like digs into their arguments, the arguments are all bullshit, even from people like Bart Ehrman, who are like renowned experts in the field. People like, I mean, Richard Carrier has immense respect for Bart Ehrman on specific things. But it's interesting if somebody is so far outside of the consensus, then that person has something to prove. And it's like, and oftentimes you get this almost in academic inertia where no one's challenged this bit of information. And so it's become kind of a dogma in the field. No one would admit it's a dogma because dogmas are things you hold by faith that you don't have to defend. And Richard Carrier would say that there was a historical Jesus has become a dogma because I've challenged it, and one or two other qualified people have also challenged it officially. And I've read every single argument that they've given in response, and it's bullshit. Like, I'm quoting them going, you did not read my book because what you're arguing against is something I never said. And the thing, and you're bringing up points as though I didn't address them in an entire chapter.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting when, even in fields that are not supposed to be religious fields, like academics, things can become, because if there's a consensus on something, it can become so sort of like rigid that it becomes a dogma, that it takes someone outside of the mainstream to challenge it before anyone goes, we should maybe revisit this.
Well, two things. First is, this is the second time I've heard the word dogma today. And I know for you read a lot of books that talk about dogma. I only hear the word dogma, like, I don't know, 5 times a year. But I heard it today. I'm going to give you a guess on where I heard this word. I know this is like really hard to like
who you heard it from?
Yeah, I think you it was from a famous person. I think you might.
It was probably Matt Damon talking about when I was in the movie Dogma.
Dude,
was it?
Nailed it. Yeah. It was Matt Damon and Ben Affleck on a GQ like friendship quiz, asking how many movies have we been in together, and they said Dogma.
How
Dogma.
funny.
But no. The other thing I was going to say is, like, I don't think that just because something is dogma, we need to believe it. But I do think you have to acknowledge it, right? I do think you have to go like, yeah, only 2% of people believe this, but I think it has merit, and it's new, right? It's a new thing, right? Like the mythicism thing. But I think that you do have to acknowledge it, you know.
Yeah, like Carrie will say, like, this is a fringe position in the field. But my book and this other guy's book did pass peer review. And so it is now a part of the discussion, whether you want it to be or not. That's what I like about academia, is it like, there's just rules.
Yeah.
It's like what Walter says in Big Lebowski, dude, this is not Nom, this is bowling. There are rules.
Right.
And it's like, so his position is, so these 2 books have been published and they pass peer review, and they both call into question historicity. So now you cannot publish in the field on historicity without addressing these books. You're not allowed to, because it's part of the discussion now.
Yeah.
And so if you do, and you dismiss or disregard or demonstrate that you did not even bother to read this, then you're just betraying the fact that you're a bad scholar, and you need to like do better.
Yeah.
Because you just simply cannot act as though a peer-reviewed challenge to your position has not been issued when it has.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I think we answered Learn Angelo's question, obviously. Yeah. He's going to be like, you did not even address what I said.
Yeah. Well, call us back and we'll do better.
Yeah. I need to get another drink.
Okay.
So let's take a little break here. We'll put our break music in here. I'm going to have to do this in post. God damn it.
Meanwhile, just check and see if the Lakers made a trade.
You're gonna get more to drink?
I still have some of my I have like a finger left of my Lagavulin.
How much did you pour? I made a double for myself, so
I poured like 4 fingers. Or 3.
Huh. Why don't you pour another finger so you have 2 left?
I'm getting oddly aroused. I don't know why. Yeah. I'm feeling. I've got my. I
want to put 2 fingers in there and swish them around a bit.
Yeah.
All right. Be right back. Have you ever heard how your taste buds supposedly change every 7 years or so?
I've heard that all of our cells like regenerate every 7 years.
Maybe.
I never heard about taste buds.
Yeah. I mean, I have things I used to hate that I like now. I obviously have a lot of things that I've loved my whole life that I still love, like salt.
Or like banana runts.
Oh my God. Yeah.
For me, it's like high chews. Like
or
high
Smarties, or Willy Wonka Wacky Wafers, which I don't think they make anymore. Those were just anything that's like chalky, like the banana runts, Smarties. It's all the chalky stuff. You know, I love it.
I like Smarties a lot. When my kids were little, Maddox would call them pop-outs. We don't even know why. Because you get like when they're little, like if they went potty in the potty, they got like a pop-out. Like they get like one little Smartie as a reward, you know, and it's like that's how you motivate them. Yeah. And he would just be like, I want a pop-out.
You should have motivated them by not beating them when they didn't do the right thing.
No, I like that. I like doing that. But we're always just like, where did he learn that they're called pop outs? Like, what's that about?
Yeah, that's
we
weird.
just mock him until he cry.
What I was going to say is that I have this Jim Beam vanilla whiskey that I poured for myself because it's just easy over ice, and it's like way too sweet for me. I'm like, oh God, I don't know if I can even like drink this.
Yeah, that's different for you. You were always the most sweet-toothed person. Have you had peanut butter whiskey like Screwball lately? Is that too sweet?
Yeah, but only as only like a shot.
Yeah,
I can do it as a shot, but I haven't had Fireball in forever, dude, which is crazy. Anyway, okay, we have another voicemail here. This is about preachers and how they talk.
Hey, DXTs. I was listening to another podcast just now where they played.
First of all, what? You were cheating on us with another podcast? What the hell?
Yeah, we have rules here. If you listen to us, we're exclusive. Like we're not like in an open relationship.
Yeah, it's not an open relationship.
No.
Yeah. Totally kidding. How many do you listen to podcasts?
No, I mean what's a podcast anymore? It's all bleeding together. Because for a while they're like vodcast is a video.
And now every podcast has video, which we do too now today.
Yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube content.
How would you feel if I put this on YouTube, on our YouTube channel?
I don't know.
I kind of felt like I might see how it comes out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it has to be. I don't know how you edit it, right? Because it's like we edit the audio in an audio editing program. But
I mean, I have video editing software.
Yeah, this is going to be like a video that needs to be edited.
Yeah.
Or maybe I can do that in Riverside. I don't know. But I just thought, it's not like we're trying to get more listeners at this point. We're just trying to get to where this thing dies. But
we're just trying to get to 666.
Yes, exactly. But I thought it might be fun for some of our patrons to have a link to the video and see what we look like while we're doing it. I'm sure they'll watch 5 minutes of it and be like, oh, that's funny. I'm going to go back to the audio version of it. Yeah. I listen to like probably 10 to 15 podcasts on a regular, like
on the Apple
schedule.
Podcast app?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like Armchair Expert.
Every time I open that app, it has to reload because it's like reinstalling it because I haven't touched it in like
really?
4 years.
Pivot is my most listened to. Like I listen to every single one. And then there's other podcasts that I listen to if I like the guest. So like Bill Maher, Andrew Huberman, Armchair Expert, Joe Rogan, which is, I mean, they're all like, Lex Friedman, and they're all over the place politically. It's just if I like the guests and I want to learn more about them or hear more about them. But anyway, yeah, I listen to maybe it's 10 or 12 different podcasts. I need to find more because I've been walking a lot. I've walked 7 miles before 1 o'clock today. So like that's a lot of podcasts to listen to. So anyway, let's get on with this voicemail. Sorry. It's the alcohol.
Played a clip, just something funny from some preacher going on. And they started to talk about the preacher voice. And I was wondering if this was a voice that Calvary pastors used or that either of you used when you were pastors. And the voice specifically is rather than just saying, and on the 4th day, God created, the ocean and man was saved or something. They go, and on the 4th day, man created the ocean and man was saved. That kind of thing. Anyway, Dick Push out.
I think that was a racist. We all know how he's talking about, which is racist.
Were you picturing a black person? I wasn't picturing a black person.
That's racist to even be picturing a black person when you do that voice.
I was picturing an old Southern guy, by which I mean white.
Right. There is definitely I was listening to Jack Hibbs today because I was trying to
just for your devotions or quiet time.
I love the guy.
Yeah.
I was trying to find if we had a recent video that would be a good candidate for Pastor Jack's Off. And so I'm listening to him and I was trying to think because I had listened to this voicemail already. So I'm listening to him thinking like, how would I feel if Jack Hibbs was talking to me in the voice he's using while he's preaching, but we're just having a conversation? Because I do think there's a difference when you have a conversation with somebody and when somebody is preaching. And you have the really wild ones, like the one that our caller so ably demonstrated for us. But then you also just have like a pastor's tone. I don't know, in general. Like you had it. It wasn't like super, like I've heard your sermons. I'm sure I had it too. But like I've heard your sermons before and I'm like, you don't talk to me like this. There is a public speaking thing. But it's not just a public speaking thing because it's different than a newscaster. A newscaster has a public speaking thing and it sounds very newsy, right? You're like, oh, I would never talk. Like there was somebody's TikTok channel I was following for a while. And there was a woman who is a newscaster and she would record herself talking to her husband like she was doing a newscast. And it was hilarious because like, oh yeah, there's such a difference in how you talk. And it's like, I think there are people who try not to do it and they get up there and they just end up talking like that, you know?
I think that there's a public speaking. I mean, obviously if you're speaking to a room of people, you have to project your voice and you have to, you know, it's got nothing to do with preaching versus other kinds of public speaking.
But you think that the preaching voice is different than the newscaster voice, right? There's a clear...
but a newscaster is not a public speaker because you're in a room, you're in a small room talking to people that aren't in the room. But if you're doing a TED Talk, like if I'm doing a TED Talk, I'm not just gonna be talking like I'm talking right now.
Right.
I'm gonna be projecting my voice and making a speech, like it's giving a speech. So I think, yes, there is a specific kind of like Christian way of doing that, like these old Pentecostal preachers that are just like hella annoying and like, no, Calvary pastors don't talk like that. We never talk like that. And I think that's a relic of the past. Like this is like 80-year-old Pentecostals who are mopping their brow, wearing silk suits, casting demons out of people.
Yeah.
But I do think there's a difference between like the way I talk. If I were talking to 10 people in a room leading a group, it would be different than me talking to like 1,000 people. But it wouldn't be the preacher voice. It would just be the way anybody who's any good at public speaking knows that you need to like get the attention of the room. Just like when I read the audiobook, I'm not reading the audiobook the way I would just be reading it. If I were just, hey dude, if I were reading to you going, listen to this passage, I want to read this to you. I would just read it with a monotone. But if you're reading an audiobook, you're putting some your inflections and emphasis because you're trying to be like, you're trying to reach out and grab the listener.
Do you think there's an affected sincerity from a lot of preachers though?
Oh yeah.
Like especially Calvary Chapel. Like, I mean, I'm sure it's all over the world, but my experience is mostly with Calvary Chapel. Like an affected, like I'm gonna let you know how I'm gonna talk you into this by how sincere you must believe that I am.
It's like cloying. It's like cloying, and how annoying
that's such a good such a good description of it. It's cloying.
It is. There's definitely this like, like I just King Jesus, he just lives in our hearts. It's like there is that, and like. There's a lot of times where I'll be scrolling Instagram or something and I'll see some talking head guy.
Yeah.
And before I even hear what he's talking about, I'm like, this dude's an evangelical.
Right.
And then sure enough, he is. But he's just got that way. But it's not the same way that like Kenneth Copeland or these old timey preachers from the past did it. There's a certain kind of Southern California cadence to it, at least around here, that's like, oh, you totally sound like you sound like an evangelical megachurch pastor.
Yeah. Like I haven't listened to a John Randall sermon ever, but if I did, I would imagine how, and tell me if I'm wrong, because I think you've listened. Like I can imagine that if he was like, I've known him since first grade. So I can imagine if he talked to me like he talks in a sermon, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, we're friends from, 50 years, like, or 47 years, or whatever. Like, why are you talking to me like this?
And there are people that I know who do blur that line a bit, where it's like,
but those are the people who also just feel like are looking through you when they talk to you.
Yes.
Too, right.
Yes.
Like, it's just like, I'm not here. I mean, I am, but I'm also looking for everything else going around me and what people are watching me, and I need to be careful what I'm saying. And I have to like, really guard myself because I'm being observed. Right.
Yeah. I feel like the takeaway of this is, everyone does this, but you're only able to notice it when it's from some other generation. Like I remember being in Budapest, and I played a clip of Martin Lloyd-Jones to Greg Opine. Greg Opine was the leader of the Calvary Chapels in Europe, in Hungary at the time.
Yeah.
And Martin Lloyd-Jones was a mid 20th century Welsh preacher. And I remember and he was powerful, and I was playing this bit for Greg.
He was my favorite.
He was great. But it's like, but he's an old Welshman. He was born in 1898, 1899, and he died in like 81. He was of another generation from another continent. And so he was an old school dude. And so he preached like but he was great. But I remember Greg was like, all he said in response was like, why does he talk like that?
Right.
And I'm like, because that's how he talks. Like, why does anyone talk? Like, why do you talk? Like, go play Chuck Smith to somebody from Miami who's 18 years old. He's going to be like, why does this old guy talk like that?
Right.
But you don't think Chuck talks weird because that's what's normal to you.
Well, I was actually thinking about Chuck Smith. I'm like, I think he might be one of the people who spoke to you just like he preached to his sermon, to his congregation.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
yeah. I mean, he was like, very sincere.
Yeah. Very sincere, clearly believed it. And, just took long pauses. But he also, when he talked to you, took long pauses, Yeah.
He wasn't putting on airs or anything or putting on a show.
Yeah.
At
Which
all.
is what made him have a, denomination of 3,000 churches or whatever.
But I feel like if you're going to be public speaking in front of large groups, like you need to be good at it. Like someone like Tony Robbins, it's like you think what you want about his content, but it's like the guy is clearly able to command 5,000 people to shut up and listen. I'm talking now.
Right.
Listen, and they do.
Right.
And it's like that's a skill. And it's like one of my complaints about the Reformed Presbyterian world when I was in that world was we have such a rich history of preaching, going all the way back to Scotland and the Reformation and John Knox and all these great preachers down through the years. But it's like, but you're teaching, like Westminster Seminary teaches their students how to have good content, but they don't spend any time on delivery. And I remember I used to talk to people about it at the time, saying like there's three things to a good preacher. There's your structure of your outline, there's the content of your outline, and then the delivery of that content. And everyone wants it to be, all preachers want it to be that if my content is good, I'm good.
Right.
That's the easiest part. Anyone can write a good orthodox sermon, and you can even have structure to it where it's like 3 points that all connect to a main point, so it's easy to remember. But as much as no one wants to admit it, what people are looking for in a pastor is delivery. And people will sit and listen to bad content by a good preacher before they listen to good content from a bad preacher. Like, I'm sorry, Greg Laurie is just a good preacher.
Right.
And anyone can listen to him for an hour.
But he's a good preacher.
He's just good. He's easy to listen to. He's engaging. He's funny. And it's like, and if you can't do that, it doesn't matter how good your content is. No one's going to listen to some droning, monotone, boring ass guy. Right. Even if your content is perfect, they're going to go across the street to the mega church where the dude is like funny.
Well, I think that's part of what like the church we grew up in got wrong is if you love the Lord and you show it, then people are going to listen to you. And it's like, well, not if you're shit at it. They're not.
Yeah. Why are all the big Calvary pastors the really good speakers?
Right.
It's all Skip Heitzig and Mike McIntosh.
Yeah. If you could go back and listen to any preacher from history that you couldn't have a recording of, listen to them preach, who would it be?
George Whitefield.
Yeah, that was mine too.
Really?
It's funny. Yeah.
Why is that even? Why are we even surprised?
What's your second one? Do not say the one I'm going to say.
I'm going to say Charles Spurgeon.
Fuck you, dude. Yeah. Okay. Third one. I get to go.
Dude, I get to stop. Go. We're eventually going to be like, all right, your 116th guy. Who is it?
No, we're only going to do 3, and I get to do the third one, and then you tell me if it's your person, okay?
I don't even have one yet. I have to come up with one.
Okay, come up with one before I say it.
Okay, I got it.
Jonathan Edwards.
Yep.
No way.
Yeah. I'd want to go to Newburgh, Connecticut in 1735, 1736, and listen to him preach his sermon called Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God.
Yeah.
Dude, that's one of the most famous sermons ever been preached.
How is it that we got them in the same order, though? Like, I knew we'd have some overlap, but that's crazy.
I will admit that when I did come up with Spurgeon, I was thinking maybe I should have put Spurgeon first.
No, because Spurgeon didn't preach outdoors. Spurgeon preached in a church. That's what made me listen to George Whitefield. Is he would preach to like thousands of people outside,
and Ben Franklin was there listening. Ben Franklin was listening. Ben Franklin, even I think Whitefield was preaching on the steps of the Philadelphia courthouse in like the 1740s when America wasn't a nation yet, but and Franklin went all the way to the very periphery of the crowd. And he went as far away from Whitefield as he could and still hear him. Yeah. And then he did the math to figure out how many people can hear this man with because there was no amplification of the voice at the time. Yeah. And he concluded like this man could be heard by like 40,000 people.
That's so crazy.
Because I went far enough away to hear him, and I did the math of how many people can fit in this area, and it's like he was just able to like belt it out like that.
Yeah, and they were eloquent and intelligent and convincing. Yeah.
But part of why I'd want to go back, though, especially to Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God, because that's just so iconic. Yeah. Because I remember even back when we were super, super into this stuff, and I'd be reading about like John and Charles Wesley at a home Bible study in London in 1742. Yeah. And they were reading from the preface of Martin Luther's commentary on Romans, and the whole room like was struck by the Holy Spirit, and everyone was crying out and weeping and gnashing their teeth. And even when I was into that, I was going like, but like, were they though? Yeah. Like really, actually, like actually,
how much of this is legend or just grew in the telling?
Well, it wasn't even legend because it's in Wesley's journal. He's saying it happened. He was there, but I'm like, but are you embellishing it? Like, I just don't believe that you were just reading from something to a bunch of buttoned up Victorian Englishmen and women.
But these are people who didn't have social media and TikTok and didn't watch shows and didn't cry watching, whatever show they're watching at the time. Like
Love Island.
And they came to these places, and this was life and death to them, you know? And it's like, this was the message they would get that week, and they would hear it, and it would just be like, this is all I care about. This is all I think about all day long, you know? And I don't think that the historical accounts of that are false, but I also don't think they prove that the Christianity that was being preached was true. It's just like, this was these people's lives, you know, and it's what they lived for.
And it was I think it's a cool thing. I mean, think about like Spurgeon when he was at the Metropolitan Tabernacle. I mean, he was drawing crowds of, I mean, I think the room held, you can probably look it up, it held 3,000 people. Yeah. I think he preached at the Crystal Palace even. But like, I mean, he was drawing weekly, if not several times a week, crowds in the multiple thousands, if not tens of thousands of people. Yeah. And it's like, you can't, I mean, other than a sporting event or a concert, you don't really have that anymore. But this was all to listen to a man, a rhetorician. Yeah. Like, this is to listen to a man talk.
6,000 people. And 1,000 additional standing spaces. It was the largest church building of its day.
Yeah. And it's just crazy that there was a time when people would gather to listen to that.
At the Royal Surrey Garden Music Hall, where up to 10,000 people could gather to hear him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. A modern NBA
that's one of the reasons Whitefield preached out of doors, was because he's both in London and in the New World. He's preaching to 30, 40, 50,000 people. Like, there was no building that could even hold that. That's why he had to preach out there.
Yeah. I'm looking it up to make sure we're correct on the numbers, but I know we're close. George Whitefield preached to astonishingly large crowds, especially considering there were no microphones or loudspeakers. 20 to 30,000 people was the upper end of his regular outdoor audiences in England. About 25,000 people gathered in Boston Common to hear him in 1740, more than the population of Boston itself at the time. That's so crazy. One of the most famous stories comes from Benjamin Franklin. Franklin was skeptical that one man could be heard by tens of thousands of people, so he conducted his own experiment. As Whitefield preached in Philadelphia, Franklin walked away until he could no longer hear him. He then estimated the area Whitefield's voice covered and concluded that more than 30,000 people could have heard him under those conditions.
I love it when I relay something. I love it when I relay something that I think is probably true because I remember reading it. Yeah. And then when you actually read it, it's like, yeah, that's exactly what I said. Like, I got it exactly right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Wild.
All right. Next voicemail. Here we go.
Hey, Jason. From previous episode, you were talking about the World Cup. One thing you have not explained is why, as Americans, we should care at all about soccer. Soccer is not American. It's some globalist thing that the elites are trying to force down our throats, and therefore we should not give two craps about soccer. Dick Bush out.
First off, I feel like that was a bit anti-Semitic because I'm assuming by elites he means the Jews.
Okay. Where do I begin? I don't understand what he means by the elites are trying to like shove this down our throats.
Does it make more sense when I say that it's the Jews?
No, not really.
No?
Sorry. No.
Okay. That's because the Jews don't want you to understand what I said.
I mean, obviously, my whole life, I have, at least in the last 32 years, I've wished that I was born in a country that cared about soccer, right? This is the first time not the first time, maybe. It's the maybe second time I have felt like, oh, we care about soccer now, you know? This is the highest magnitude of it. But like, I feel like I'm not saying everybody has to love soccer. Like everybody can love their sport, whatever it is. Like you love basketball probably more than any other sport, right? And then baseball next, I would say.
Yeah, right there. They're neck and neck, but yeah.
Yeah. And I like soccer, which by the way the name soccer came from Britain. It was called Association Football, which is ASOC was how it came. And then they changed ASOC to soccer. And then they introduced us to soccer, and then we were like, oh, soccer, cool, let's call it soccer. And then they went back and be like, let's change it to football. The Americans are calling it soccer, let's change it to football. So like soccer is like as good of a name for it as football. And football clearly makes more sense than calling gridiron football, where you can't use your feet, or you don't use your feet, use your hands. Like that should be called handball. I
yeah.
Don't even like.
It doesn't make any sense
on that. Yeah. But like, I'm not saying everybody has to care about soccer, but I do think it is short-sighted to be like, there is a sport that the majority, not every country, like India cares more about cricket than they care about soccer. Same with Pakistan and like a few other countries. Like I think Australia cares about rugby probably more than soccer. But like, it's fine to not have it be your number one sport, but I do think it is kind of like it is very American to be like, we don't care about this because we don't understand it and it's not our sport. We didn't create this sport, right? It's like we came up with football, baseball, and basketball, and all the other sports, you know, cricket, rugby, soccer, hockey, can fuck off. These are our sports. Like, okay, I kind of get that a little bit, but it's like, you have the World Cup coming to America, and it has united the world. You can't ignore the fact that it has united the world more than the world has ever been united. And I don't mean the governments, but I mean the people, right? The people are just like, everyone is saying like, this is like when cousins get to go hang out, and they don't usually get to hang out because their parents don't like each other, and they just realize we all like each other. Fuck our parents, right?
That's a really good illustration.
Yeah.
That's like a perfect illustration of it.
Yeah. And it's like, you know what? Oh, you're from Scotland or even Iran. It's like Iran got like a great reception from the Americans. Like
I'm
we love you.
rooting for them in the war.
Right. Yes, you are. It's like, yes, we love all of you as people. Even we can accept your different cultures. And Norway's in like wherever I don't remember where they were, Kansas City or whatever. I don't remember. Like the people there are like, we love that you're all doing the row. You know, the row.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's just like, I love that all the people are getting together and enjoying each other and being like, I love your culture. But I mean, it's also part of like, I think you would probably like this part of it. It's like, I appreciate your culture because it is its own culture, right? It is its own thing. And you're going to go back to your country. And if I want to experience your culture, I can go to your country and experience it there. We don't all have to have one big melted pot of cultures. We can have our own culture. And America has their own culture. And that's what people who have come here from the World Cup are realizing, is that America has a culture and it's fun. Like, we love this culture, you know? And that has meant a lot to me. Like I mentioned in an earlier podcast, where it's like watching somebody on YouTube who's never listened to a song before, and you're appreciating it through their eyes and going, oh, I haven't heard this song in forever. This is an amazing song. Like, that's how I feel about our American culture now, is like being like, we have our own culture, and people who are visiting us love it and think it's amazing and way better than they heard it was, because they heard it was just like, you're going to come here and you get shot, right? Because it's so violent and all this stuff. And they're going like, no, I was walking down the street in Boston and people were celebrating my culture. Like, I love it. I love it. Like, you know, Jason, like how much I have loved the World Cup and for how long I have loved it. And for me, this is like a 40-day orgasm of just like being like, oh my God, people are seeing what the World Cup can be, which the Super Bowl isn't. I'm not saying it can't be, but the Super Bowl isn't, the World Series isn't, and the NBA Finals isn't. It's like the world comes together for this and is like, you know, and then it's like, it's not even just like, oh, my country lost, fuck it, I'm out. It's like, oh, my country lost, but I love Spain and I want to see Spain do well.
Is it Spain versus Argentina? Is that the final?
Spain and Argentina.
When is it?
Sunday at noon.
I think that, like, it's almost like a Trinitarian thing, you know, the one and the many, because it's like, first of all, if we did care about soccer, we would be the best in the world at soccer. Like, if we took all of our black people who play basketball, and like, I look at some of our athletes and I'm like, this guy is a phenomenon. If all we cared about was soccer, or if we prized soccer above all these other sports, we just pulled the greatest athletes, we would crush, especially if we live in a country where you play. I mean, I grew up playing soccer, so did you. But most kids didn't grow up playing. If you didn't grow up playing it, you can't just become a soccer player at age 20. Right. You can, but it's like, most people here in this country don't grow up playing it. And so even if they're hyper athletic and would be like amazing soccer players, that's just not their sport. Right. And so, and they don't have so I like the one and the many comes in where it's like, I like it that I like that each country has its own thing and they prize their own thing. So America has baseball, basketball, football. And other American stuff like hip hop and cowboys. Cowboys is a culture that came from this continent. Surfing. Yeah. But the Polynesians started that. Like, you know, but like there are certain, I like that there are certain things that are like unique to here, but you don't want to overemphasize diversity or distinction. You want to also like unity and diversity, right? It's like, the World Cup, it's unity, because all the different countries are playing a common sport, even if it's not their country's main sport. Yeah. But if all we did was play a sport that every other country plays, it'd be boring. Because what makes this country any different? Like, Canadians have hockey, right? Like English people have cricket, or, you know. So I don't know. It's I like the unity and diversity, and I would like it more if. Like, I wish that we paid more attention to soccer, because all of our greatest athletes don't grow up playing soccer, and so they never become soccer players. And the people who do become soccer players are like, all right, but they're not very good compared to Germany, Spain, Italy, France, England, Argentina, Brazil. But we're just, I don't know if we could ever make it. I mean, one of the reasons why basketball is so big with black people is like, you don't need a whole lot of equipment to play basketball. So basketball can be played in poor inner city urban environments the way that American football cannot.
Right.
You know, or baseball. You have to have a bunch of equipment to play baseball. Soccer is so popular across the world because you don't need very much, if any, equipment to play it. Like we both lived in Africa. Kids would just take a bunch of garbage and then just tape a bunch of garbage together till it's about the size of a soccer ball. And then you just put 2 empty soda cans down and there's a goal, and you got a flat area. You can play soccer there. I do wish that I wish that soccer would rise up in our national list of priorities, but I would never want our greatest sports in this country to be just sports that everyone plays, because then you're losing the diversity in favor of the unity. Like there needs to be that tension, I think.
Yeah.
Jesus is not the Father, but they're both God.
I just think the attitude of, oh, we don't care about soccer is a shit attitude, when it's like the entire world except you cares about this and is doing this and enjoying this. Why? And I feel it's almost like
pride or something.
It's like an American, we're better than everybody else, we don't need this. It's like, how about you join in? And like, and this is like, I'm not saying it's the best sport. I'm saying it is the biggest sport.
Yeah.
And it's like, it is the biggest sport in the world. And the entire world gets together every 4 years and celebrates this sport and the players and the people. And every country has its own style. Like Spain's style, which is my favorite style of soccer, is completely different than the Argentinian style, which, and those two will play each other on Sunday. And
I'm
it's
so
like
team Spain.
It's like, yeah, I am too. It's like, but I also wouldn't be upset if Argentina won, because it'd be making history. But it's like the last country to win 2 World Cups in a row was Brazil in like 1958, 1962. Damn. And they also won the Copa America in between. So they would win 4 major tournaments in a row.
Was that when Pele was doing his thing?
No, this was it's now. Argentina won the Copa America, then they won the World Cup, then they won the Copa America, and if they win this year, they'll win the World Cup. Nobody's ever done that. Spain almost did it in 2010. I think they won the Euros in 2008, then the World Cup in 2010, and then the Euros in 2012, and then they almost won the World Cup in 2014. So it's like, this would be the first time any team has done that. It's pretty amazing. So it's like, part of me is like, I don't really care who wins. I just want a good game. But like, I'm rooting for Spain because I like the way they play better. And I think Argentina is a little bit dirtier, but I also love Messi. Anyway, beside the point. I just feel like this attitude of like, fuck that, we're not good at it, so screw you, is like, you're being invited to this world party that does not exist. There is nothing like it. Nothing like it in the world. And we're being invited to it. And it's like, you don't have to like be like, this is our favorite sport, but you don't also have to be like, fuck soccer. Why should we care about soccer? It just sounds like a bad sport who's like, we're not good at it, so fuck you.
Yeah,
you know?
that's what I was going to say. It's like, we're not, like, this is not something we can dominate, so we're just going to take our toys and storm off.
Yeah. The
like,
other...
I feel like, let me say real quick, like, it's a respect thing. Like, when other cultures, like, I make fun of like Asians a lot because they just ape and bite all of our shit. Like you can go to like you go to Asia, you can go to like Tokyo and they have like cowboy bars with like mechanical bulls,
right?
Or they have like rappers who dress like guys from Compton, and it's like that. But it's like, it's funny, you know, and you can laugh at it. But it's like, but they're respecting something about our culture that's unique to us, whether it's cowboys or hip hop.
Right.
And it's like, we should return that favor, especially when we're not that bad at it.
We have karaoke bars. We have karaoke bars.
Yeah. But we
should
have
Asian
like,
thing.
we should have, we like, I feel like we should I feel like we're afraid to take pride in soccer because we can't win yet.
Right.
And so it's like, until I can win, I don't want to play.
Right.
And it's like, that's not how it works though. Like you have to lose Like, how many times did Michael Jordan lose in the conference finals before he ever made it to the finals? And he eventually won 6 of them. But it's like, but you had to lose to the Pistons and the Pacers and all these other teams and the Knicks, all these, and it's like, I feel like if we were to pay soccer its respect, then we would be like, all right, number one, we're going to try to get youth soccer organizations everywhere so that kids grow up playing this. And we want to have programs in high school and college, and we want to have money. There needs to be money behind it. Like somebody with money, maybe Ice Cube, somebody like Ice Cube who started that NBA league, a different basketball. Like somebody should start a league, or just throw a bunch of money at MLS.
Well, so I know a lot about this.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay,
so
so I know a lot about why we don't produce as good of soccer players as other countries. So in almost every other country, they have leagues, right? Like Major League Soccer, I don't know if people realize this. It was new in 1996. The first season of Major League Soccer was 1996. We did not have a Major League Soccer team before.
So it's only 30 years old.
It's 30 years old. And it only came about because we had the 1994 World Cup in the United States. And so afterwards, like, okay, now's our chance to create a league. Our league is still not very competitive. Like people come here at the end of their retirement, like Messi. Like Messi plays for Miami.
Or David Beckham.
Beckham came and played for LA because it's like we're at the end of our thing and we can't really compete in La Liga or Serie A or the EPL anymore. So we're going to come to the MLS where we'll be stars, And it's like, and the teams would pay tons of money. It's like La Liga in Spain is not going to play. They're not going to pay $10 million for David Beckham at the end of his career, but the LA Galaxy will, right? Because it's like he's going to be better than every player here.
And they're not going to go pay for Landon Donovan to come over there and play either because he's good in the U.S., but he can't compete.
Right. I mean, he played for a little bit in EPL, but he didn't make it. And it was like, let's put him in. We'll pay a lot for him at the LA Galaxy, and he can play with Beckham. But here's the thing. Soccer is maybe, I don't know, maybe all the sports are like this, I'm not sure. But soccer is a sport in America where it's pay to play. Soccer in every other country is not pay to play.
What do you mean by pay to play?
So in every other country, because they have established leagues, because they all care about soccer that have been going on for years, there are scouts that go out from every team in every major league in other countries looking for youth talent. And when they find youth talent, they sign them to their club. And so, like, for example, there is an American, surprisingly, named Kevin Sullivan, who's like 16, I think. And and I think it's Barcelona, it's Real Madrid or Barcelona, I think it's Barcelona, who has already come and found him and been like, hey, we think you're so good and so much promise that we're going to sign you at 18 to come to Barcelona. And we're going to pay for everything. You come to Barcelona and we have an agreement that we pay for everything. Your room, your board, we give you money, all that, and we develop you as a talent, and you become play for Barcelona. And these countries have been doing this in their own countries for years. And so, like a 14-year-old in London who is, or in some outskirts of London or other out of the cities, who is really good will be found by Chelsea, and they'll be like, oh, we found this guy. And it's like Chelsea and Tottenham and Arsenal will all be looking for talent constantly around the country and in other countries. And when they find them, they say like, hey, we want you to come to our academy and join our academy, right? And so they bring these people to the academy. They pay for everything. They tell the parents, you don't have to pay for anything. They're coming to school here. We'll educate them. We'll train them in soccer every day. And then they'll play for us. And then we can either decide to loan them out or like put them on another team or whatever, but that's our choice, right? In America, if you have kids that are talented at soccer, all that means is that you're going to have to pay more money for them to play. Your club soccer costs are going to cost you $10,000 a year to get you to keep going in your kids' soccer. And a lot of people can't afford that. So it's like, well, you got to stop playing soccer. Like my kids were like that.
Hang on one second. I think my dad needs me. Hang on.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, the Chinese food? Yeah. I'll have the orange chicken, like you get, the same chicken, but with noodles. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
What's up, John? Tell him I said what's up.
That's too late. Apparently, he's going out for Chinese.
Oh, nice.
Which means I got about 5 minutes to wrap this up.
Yeah. Well, we're about done.
Well, I wanted to.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
Yeah, finish that.
So, like in America, if your kid is good, you pay more money for him to keep playing. In every other country, it's a way out for those people. In every other country, if you become really, really good at football, a club is going to come find you and pay for you to come to their boarding school or whatever and learn and be educated and learn soccer. And it's like, because it's a capitalism thing. Like, whereas for America, it's like, how much money can we get out of you if you want to keep playing club soccer? And that is the main reason why America, until they change that, will never be as good as every other country in soccer. Like, if every other country, imagine that Australia was all of a sudden like, we're going to start looking for football players, like American football players. And if we think you're good at football, we are going to grab you when you're 16 and make a contract with you where you come play for us and we pay for everything. It's like, it's a way out of poverty.
Well, that's similar to what happened. I want to play I don't know if you've seen any of Seth's recent stuff. Like, I'm going to play a video in a second.
I interacted with him on one of it. I said this thing to him where I'm like, we're never going to be good until our pay to play thing is changed.
Yeah, because he has a whole video on this is why the U.S. is not good at soccer.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because Luka Doncic, I'm actually wearing his shirt right now. Like, he's from Slovenia. He's like a top 3-4 in the world NBA player on the Lakers.
Yeah.
But he like basically grew up in Madrid because they identified him in Madrid while he was a child in Slovenia as a really good basketball player.
Because Spain is good is big with basketball, right?
Yeah, and
like,
so
there's
it's like
a lot of Spaniard baseball players.
So they brought him to Madrid and they trained him up and they invested in him and now he speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
And even though he's a Slovenian guy, but it's like that same thing of like, we're going to scout
Didn't
Kobe
world. Bryant, wasn't Kobe Bryant in Spain or was it Italy, right?
He grew up in Italy because his dad was a former NBA player who went and played in Italy. And so when Kobe spent his first like 8 years of his life growing up in Italy, just like learning how to play basketball, but also learning Italian, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. The main difference is most other countries look for talent and then develop them. And America is like, oh, you think your people are good? Pay more money and we'll eventually see them.
Yeah.
Let's get them more money to the clubs. You know, it's a capitalism thing. That's why I think Americans should support soccer. If you're not like, oh, capitalism is the greatest thing in the world and solves all the problems. I think it should just be like, yeah, other countries are better at soccer. This is why.
Yeah. And I wish we did participate more.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of us being like dicks, you know?
It's the sleepover with the cousins. You're like, we're not coming. You know, it's just like, fuck off. Like, we're all having this experience. Come experience it with us. You know?
What sleepover was that?
The cousins sleeping over and realizing they love each other. It's just their parents don't like each other.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Were you going to play something?
Nah. I mean, you've already seen it and we're almost 2 hours in. So
okay. All right. I have a quick Pastor Jacks off.
Oh.
It's fast.
Okay.
So we'll get past it. This is what happens when you drink, dude. Our podcasts go to 2 hours. Because I was like, I've got like an hour, 15 minutes. This is it. Yeah. Anyway, all right, here we go.
I'm commanded in the Bible to look for him. It's crystal clear. And there's parables given about being watchful and ready. And so because I love him, I want to be ready to meet him. It also galvanizes me to not fall for the arguments of man.
Okay, we're getting to where I want you to start paying very close attention to his logic here. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
I don't care what anybody says about that. What does the Bible say? Well, this person's really charismatic. You should listen to what they have to say. That's your qualifier? Brother, if that's your qualifier, you're heading for trouble. Because I think Satan can produce a lot better charismatic people than what God will release on earth, because God doesn't share his glory with anybody.
Dude, like,
No, follow the truth.
Dude, the logic for the last 10 seconds of that was just like off the charts bad.
yeah, it's like the most self-serving thing ever.
It's like Satan can produce more charismatic people than God, because God doesn't want to share his glory with anybody.
And it's
What?
like,
What?
and whatever, like, if somebody's charismatic, but you agree with them, then that's from the Holy Spirit. But if some charismatic preacher preaches something you don't think is true, well, that's just from the devil.
Right.
It's like the no true Scotsman fallacy.
And he's only more charismatic because God is not going to give you somebody that charismatic because he doesn't want you liking that person more than him.
Yeah, it's like the same as like everyone driving faster than me is a maniac. Everyone driving slower than I am is like in the way and needs to die.
Right.
Because it's like I decide exactly where the sweet spot is.
Yeah. I was just like, I listened to this today and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, dude.
That's one of those things where I feel like you began this sentence with zero idea where it was going to finish.
Yeah, it was
And you
pure. It was
finished it-
Indiana Jones stepping off the cliff, hoping you hit some sort of solid ground.
Right.
It's just out on a limb.
But then at the end of it, you're like, yeah, this is good. I'm going to post this.
Yeah.
This is great. This is good content. Let's do it.
Yeah, this is worth it. Like, people need to hear this.
Yeah.
It's that good.
All right, dude. Good talking to you. Nice having a drink with you.
Yeah, I would go back to drinking every time.
Let's do it.
I just need warning, so I make sure I have some stuff lying around.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
All right.
All right.
Sweet.
Later.
Later.